All right, we're talking stars in baseball. The MVP in the National League, I think, is going to come from whoever. It's going to come from the two top teams. Like, look, we've had some other very fine players play for some other teams. Arise for a while looked like he was a candidate when he was with the Marlins. I think he's come back to earth a little bit, although he's had an absolutely fantastic season for the Miami Marlins. But right now, I think, and I think for a while, the consensus was it's probably going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. of Atlanta. And then his former teammate and possible nemesis, Freddie Freeman, said, hold my beer. And he's putting up fantastic numbers. And then now, I believe, also coming up the other side, especially after his wonderful series he had back home, and I say back home, in Boston, suddenly Mookie Betts, I think, has to, whether he's the winner or not, has to at least be getting some consideration for National League most valuable player. Did I say rookie of the year earlier? I meant to say most valuable player. Maybe I didn't say. Either way, he might be Mookie Betts may have ideas of becoming the second person to win the MVP in both leagues, the first being Frank Robinson. And when you consider the fact he leads the league in OPS, he leads the league in OPS plus, he leads the league in slugging. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about RBIs, but he already has 90 some odd of them.
I like it.
He's 30 some odd home runs. Oh yeah, by the way, has been playing the outfield and the infield, and is still a Gold Glove caliber player in the outfield, and has done pretty well as an infielder. All things considered, you have to start to include him in the conversation.
Not just include him. I'm actually looking at FanDuel right now, Sully Baseball, and FanDuel has actually moved him into the favorite for the NL MVP at -140, where Acuna is second at +125, and then Freddie Freeman third at +850. So if the polls ended today, Mookie Betts would actually be the betting favorite according to FanDuel, which is maybe kind of crazy because I don't know if Acuna has done anything to lose his number one spot. I think Mookie Betts is heated up. That Dodgers team is heated up, but I don't know if Acuna and the Braves has done anything to lose that number one position. I mean, he still has 59 stolen bases, still leads in OBP and runs scored, but it's going to be a tight race. Do you ever think that maybe because Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts are on the same team, like maybe they cancel each other out? I don't know how we feel about
that. I don't think. I don't think they should. I don't think that should come into consideration. I mean, the interesting thing is like Acuna has the best on base percentage. Betts has the best slugging percentage. They both have
BA.
What?
Freeman has the best batting average.
Yeah. They both have a ton of home runs. Acuna hasn't driven as many because of his position in the batting order. But he's also, he's stolen 59 bases. He's been caught 11 times too, but if you steal the 59 bases, think about the number of times that means a single or a double essentially becomes a single, or a walk essentially becomes a double with him there. Makes all the big plays, and you look at what those three players mean to their team. The nice thing about these three MVP candidates, Acuna, and I think it's pretty safe to see that's going to be your top three, barring injury or a massive slump. Your top three are going to be Acuna, Freeman, and Betts. The nice thing is they tick all the boxes, whether you're an advanced metrics type or an old school type. Whatever metric you like, or whatever way you like to look at the most valuable player, they tick all the boxes. They got all the advanced stats on their side. The offensive stats of Freeman have been, wow. I mean, he just talk about someone who has been living up to that contract. And this is second year in Los Angeles. For both Betts and Acuna, and to a degree Freeman, this is also this has nothing to do with the MVP voting because that's a regular season award. But you look at what this is, kind of a legacy year for the Braves and for the Dodgers. They've both won a World Series this decade. They both know that adding another World Series to the ledger would mean so much to the franchise and also mean a lot to each one of them. Betts was part of the championship that won in 2020, but that was the weird COVID championship, and that felt a little strange. Freddie Freeman was a key part of the Braves winning the World Series. He caught the final out of the World Series, but then they immediately let him go. And there's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder of, wait a minute, why aren't I the first baseman of the Braves forever? And to sort of show that, which he should have been. No offense, Matt Olson's been a great, great player. Yeah. And then Acuna, remember, he got a ring for being part of the 2021 team, but he was hurt. Yeah. He didn't get to play in that World Series. Eddie Rosario took his place. So the idea of each one of these guys has something to prove, I think makes this just makes it a really, really fun potential when you look at which one is the most valuable player, which one has the best record for this year. I think it's really intriguing for all three of them.
Yeah, and Matt Olson could really, if he wants to get into second or third in this race, he could too, because he could potentially hit, if he wants to go on another heater, hit like 52 bombs to end the season. But I think the craziest stat among the top three guys we just discussed, when you look at Freddie Freeman's stats, he has 17 stolen bases. No one considers Freddie a burner. He's 33 years old, about to be 34. He's 6'5", 220. He's a big guy. He's almost double the amount of steals as a Mookie Betts. I just think that's incredible that Freddie Freeman at his age is moving that well.
Well, it also may be a situation that it's less about his speed and more about, there are always guys who stole a ton of bases that weren't necessarily track stars, but they just knew how to read the pitcher. They knew when to run. They knew how to do it strategically. But as of right now, maybe this is biased because I've been saying this for so long for this year. I'm leaning towards Acuna. But you could convince me Freeman. You could convince me Betts.
Yeah, I'll probably go in Acuna as well. But Mookie Betts, the way he's heated up in this, post All-Star break, and he's also got the podcast. Like, Mookie Betts is a personality and a brand onto himself. He was ingratiated back in Boston this past week. Yeah. I just don't think, I think probably Mookie Betts outside of like a Shohei Ohtani probably has the highest Q score among like fans in Major League Baseball. Like, I don't know anybody who's like, oh, I don't like Mookie Betts. I hate the way he plays. I hate the way he trash talks. Like, I think every Major League Baseball fan is just a fan of Mookie Betts.
I still hate that he's not on the Red Sox, but I digress.
Whenever I see him back in Boston, there's always a feeling inside me. It's like, I cannot believe this man is not a lifer with the Red Sox. And it feels like the same day as the day he got traded. Like, that feeling has never gone away every time I see him in a Dodgers uniform back in Boston.
No. And, the Red Sox are doing okay. They're going to have a winning record. They're on the fringe. But I'm like, this guy should be 50, should be retired. He should be looking at breaking all the records on the team. But, what are you going to do?
Connor Wong, best player from Betts deal? Probably. Yeah, he's the only guy left, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Verdugo.
Well, no, Verdugo. Yeah. Okay, Verdugo was in there. Verdugo was there, yeah. But yeah, Jeter Downs was not the star. But well, look, we're going to find out coming down the stretch. All right, so we got a big week of baseball coming up here. Some big matchups coming around. Who are the Diamondbacks playing this upcoming week?
Oh, I believe they play the Los Dodgers next, actually. But they set up their pitching, so it's going to be Gallen, Kelly, and then Fott. Hopefully they're 1-2-3 against the Dodgers.
All right, and we're going to see what happens with this Wild West as the Mariners are going to be playing the Oakland A's, which is going to be, who knows? The A's every once in a while will surprise you. The Rangers are going to be playing the Mets, and that's going to be interesting. And then, of course, the Astros and the Red Sox are playing. And it's Chris Sale Day for you Red Sox fans. So anyway, thanks for listening to the show. Follow us at Locked On MLB Pods on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm your pal Sully. I'm at Sully Baseball on Twitter, Sully Baseball Podcast on Instagram. Miller, where can people follow your show?
Yeah, I create Thomas24 for the personal account. Look up Locked On Diamondbacks, both Twitter, Instagram for the podcast handle, streaming on all podcasting platforms. And please hit subscribe on the Locked On Diamondbacks YouTube channel.
All right. On behalf of Miller Thomas of Locked On Diamondbacks, I am Paul Francis Sullivan of Locked On MLB. Please call me Sully and let's fist pump for another week.